What's going on, everyone? It's Obi-Wan here, and today we're going to play some games on the new AYN Odin 2 portal. If you're watching this, you're probably one of three people. Those who bought the Odin portal and want to see it in action while you wait. Maybe you're thinking about buying it, but you want to see if it's right for you, or you already have the Odin portal and you just want to discover some cool games to play on it. And I think this showcase could be useful for any one of those three, so let's get going. The AYN Odin Portal 2 is my go-to handheld over the Retroid Pocket 5 and even the Steam Deck OLED. It's pretty straightforward to set up, feels great to play, and makes games look better than ever. I test a ton of GameCube, PS2, and Switch games here, and we'll show you the settings I use for each game. We need to show a couple N64 and PSP games, so I'll start with them. Banjo-Kazooie, this is an instant classic right when it came out, and I've never had a better experience playing it. The controls work great, the screen looks marvelous, widescreen hacks work without a hitch. There are a couple hiccups just because N64 and widescreen is still a pretty demanding system, but it all runs very well. Now, this is a really simple space shooter, no gravity on the PSP, but you can upscale it. Sometimes when you're upscaling, you will get some weird artifacts going on and a little bit of a blur effect. But this game has, just like all these other games, this game has never looked better. Tons of fun to play. But I'm probably never going to play it again. PSP also put out a couple of good horror games. They put out this Silent Hill Origins game, which, I don't know, if you're a fan of The Evil Within or anything, this game probably would appeal to you. It starts with a house on fire. Really, the resemblance is uncanny here. But there's nothing scarier than having this nurse. There is a little bit of glitching that I noticed with the flashlight in the top left corner. Can probably be resolved, but I didn't resolve it for this video. I don't care enough about this game, to be honest. But the nurse gotta die. Dead. GameCube first-person shooters were kind of hard to find, and this character alone makes this game worth playing. It does take a little getting used to. This is kind of... It seems like these joysticks are tuned for a PS2 controller, and it works great. It just does take a little acclimation when playing a GameCube first-person shooter, because you were using that C stick, and the acceleration on that thing is kind of bizarre as far as dual joystick FPS. How are these guys all tiny? I'm trying to be tiny. What's going on here? I'm a big fan of Star Fox for N64, but this Star Fox Assault on GameCube on this device, it made me feel like I was old and going blind. There's just so much detail in every square inch on this game. Now, this is different from the N64 version because you do spend a lot of time in the little lander car thing and a bunch of time as Star Fox running around like a doofus. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice change of pace from the old one while still giving homage. Another first-person shooter that came out on GameCube is Gun. This is kind of Red Dead Redemption light. It reminds me a lot of Red Dead Revolver. But man, this game played wonderfully here. I've never considered playing this game all the way through before, but after this experience, I think I'm gonna have to. Now, GameCube did put out a semi-open world Dragon Ball Z game, so this can scratch your DBZ itch if you have one. You might want to get that checked out if you do. But the game ran very well. It was tons of fun. Widescreen worked well. It's just... everything was great. Anyway, I try to hit Raditz here, but he just dodges it, and I'm dead. 13 was a really cool comic-style first-person shooter. And I am trying a lot of first-person shooters here just because I want to test the ergonomics and the joystick capabilities of this device. And I was very pleasantly surprised. This, again, I've never played this game any further than I have while testing this device.
Oh my God!
I couldn't stop playing. One of the reasons I recorded this footage in 1080p is because I had so much footage because I just played this for about 3 hours while prepping to make this video. Medal of Honor Frontline. I know I used to go to this game store called Funkoland that was here in Minnesota, and you could pay $15 to play any game you want for an hour on their huge television, one of those giant ones that weighs like 700 pounds. This was the most cinematic experience I ever had in a video game. I felt like I was in Saving Private Ryan, and it runs marvelously on this device. The controls work very well. I know when I've tried to emulate this in the past, by the way, I'm definitely shooting my allies here, but it's okay. They get right back up. But when I played this in the past, I could never hit anybody. It just was not fun to play. And the Odin Portal 2 fixes that. Dragon Ball Fusions is a really cool kind of turn-based strategy combat game. Of course, there's a semi-open world where you can fly around, which is very satisfying. Look at what they did to Bulma. Bulma does not look... This is an atrocity. Again, this can scratch your DBZ itch, also your role-playing game itch, and it does have some really fun mechanics in here, and it's pretty satisfying to play. I'd recommend this if you've never tried it and you like Dragon Ball Z. We're going to do a few more 3DS games. This actually was a Wii U game, I believe. Or no, actually just this was actually a Wii game. It's a great Kirby game. It has these really kind of adorable yarn graphics going on. It's just a really good, feel-good game. Look at Kirby here. He turns into this smiling submarine every time he goes underwater. It's just amazing. Of course, he does swallow his enemy's whole, which is kind of messed up. And of course, this guy's not even doing anything, but you just rip him to pieces and don't care. Still, this is a great game. If you haven't played it, play it either on the Wii or the 3DS. Either versions are great. Now we're going to throw some Zelda in here. This is the one where you switch between 3D and 2D when you become a painting on the wall. It's really one of the best Zelda games I've ever played. At least the best handheld Zelda, I'd say. Definitely worth a try. It's a little strange. I think this ROM that I got does not have any music, so it's a little creepy playing this, but tons of fun. 3DS runs very well. There are going to be some stutters here and there as shaders load and then cache, but that's very normal with 3DS emulation. That even happens on my PC with my RTX 3090 on it. So I do think that is just normal behavior on this emulator. But Mario Kart 7 runs marvelously here. It's beautiful. It's really incredible because I have this on my 3DS, but it's much better to play on the Odin 2 Portal. So we're going to move on to Wii here. I just chose the most difficult Wii game to run that I had, which is Modern Warfare 3, one of my favorite Call of Duty games. Especially the survival mode on this with multiplayer couch co-op. It is legendary. I recommend everybody try it. Ran beautifully here, not even a single hiccup. Star Wars Racer Revenge is the sequel to the N64 Episode 1 Racer. It doesn't have quite the same charm as the first one had, but they throw in some new mechanics, updated graphics. Boosting's a little too easy here and also doesn't make much of a big difference, but It's still a great novelty and tons of fun to play. I'm just really bad at this one, apparently. Man, this sucked. I was in first place. Never mind. This game sucks. So we're going to play my favorite racing game. Why just race when you can also kill people? I mean, cars are the most dangerous weapon that we use every day. This video game really actualizes the danger of vehicular homicide. Red Dead Revolver is the first game, and if you only played Red Dead Redemption, this actually was the prequel to those. It's a lot of fun to play on this device. It upscales marvelous. Look at that, 2 headshots in a row. I don't even think I could do that on a PS2 controller. Runs perfectly.
Get down!
Psychonauts is a platformer game that also has some combat mechanics, but mostly this game is hilarious. It's a lot. This game is very smart. It has a lot of mental health jokes in here. It was really way ahead of its time.
For the last time, no. I would never do that. I could never kill everyone.
You eventually dive into people's minds, and the world's changed based on the mind that you're diving into. It's tons of fun. If you've never played this game, strongly recommend it. Hidden gem.
My course. I will have to pull you into my mind. And you will have to relive every bullet-scarred memory. Mentalis Uberalis!
Need for Speed Most Wanted. I was never a huge fan of the Need for Speed games. They were kind of like Forza Horizon, except with crappier graphics. And it's this whole thing of the more difficult a driving game is and the more unforgiving the drifting mechanics are, the better a racing game these gearheads think it is. But really, playing it here, it's great. I take it all back. I was wrong. This game's awesome. Except for the crashing mechanics. Like, that's whack. And actually, I finished second. Never mind, this game sucks. Tekken Tag Tournament was my favorite fighting game when it came out. Just playing as Eddie and doing all the breakdancing fighting. But really, Paul is your guy. You just want to push back and the 2 punch buttons, and everybody just melts in front of you. Of course, the AI here is a little too smart. Really, I actually got my ass kicked once. Great soundtrack. Upscales marvelously. Widescreen works perfectly. I've never had a better experience playing this game, to be honest. Battlefield 2 was a lot of fun. I remember the multiplayer on it. You would run for 13 minutes and then get sniped by somebody hiding in a bush. But of course, you're just going to be playing single player here, so you can shoot all the helicopters with rocket launchers. There's a mechanic where you can possess anybody on your team and instantly become them. It really lets you control the battlefield here, which is a lot of fun. And of course, you can just squish people with your tank. So No complaints here. This is another game I'm going to have to play through. Jak and Daxter. Now, this is a Naughty Dog game. So those are the creators of The Last of Us and the Uncharted series. So you already know this game's going to be absolutely amazing. And the Portal 2 really brings out how amazing this game can possibly be. And look, joy to play here. Another one to the bucket list. Katamari Damacy is one of the strangest games I've ever played. You're this weird little alien thing that rolls up garbage. It has pretty cool dual joystick controls here, kind of like a tracked vehicle or a tank. And the gods make you collect these balls of trash, and then they make the stars in the sky. Honestly, it reminds me of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when Charlie believes that you burn garbage and it turns into stars in the sky. This might be where he came up with that. Really cute hidden gem of a game. Definitely play this if you pick up the Portal 2. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks is the beat 'em up, a 3D kind of, what's the word? Isometric beat 'em up game where you get to play as either Liu Kang or Kung Lao. And it's just fun kicking these nameless monsters' asses constantly. You get all your Kung Lao-ish moves going on here. It has a bunch of callbacks to the Mortal Kombat series here. You can see the pit. You can actually make the enemies land on the spikes, like the fatality. This game is actually a great couch co-op game for 2 people. So if you want a good classic local co-op game, I strongly recommend Shaolin Monks. Catherine is kind of like a man's dirty novel. Really, it's you're cheating on your fiance Catherine with this girl you meet named Catherine. This scene kind of sums up the type of game this is right here. Take a look. Yeah, that's what you're in for. But the actual gameplay of this game, you're being possessed by some nightmare demon because you're an unfaithful man, and you're forced to solve these puzzles while this horrifying monster is chasing you. I think I chose easy here, so the monster isn't actually chasing you in this mode, but the puzzles actually get extremely complicated, and it's really satisfying to beat them. Definitely play this game if you like this style of game and some pretty interesting storytelling. Never was a huge fan of the Metroid series. I found them just kind of clunky and boring and pointless. But Metroid Dread, as soon as I got it on my Switch, I knew this was a game I would love. The controls are so responsive. You just have absolute control of Samus here. The graphics are great. There's no filler in it. It just, I don't know. It just, honestly, it kind of scared the hell out of me. It's got really creepy vibes. And you have these horrible, unstoppable robots chasing you for certain parts of the games. And they definitely killed me a few times while I was recording this. But once you're good at this game, you really just feel like a badass. This is my favorite Metroid game ever released, and I hope they release some more like this. I will buy them and then I will emulate them. Because playing this on the Portal is way better than playing this on a crappy old Switch. I have to be honest. And I'm dead. Biomorph, this is a little kind of cute indie game. It's very Metroidvania-ish, but you can inhabit these enemies and become them. It's a little Kirby-esque in that manner. Tons of fun in this game. Runs very well. Again, I like playing this on the Portal way more than I like playing it on the Switch. If not just for the joysticks, but then for the screen, the sound, and just sticking it to Nintendo, you know? Speaking of sticking it to Nintendo, you gotta try Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is a game that I played for about 10 or 12 hours on the Switch and then just kind of got tired of it. The joysticks are so terrible on the Switch, and the Odin Portal here absolutely fixes all the ergonomic and joystick problems the Switch had. Oh, it's so easy to die in this game. Not even the Portal can fix me running out of stamina and drowning in Breath of the Wild. But again, the best experience I've ever had playing this game. I'm definitely going to beat this game on this device. You can't kill horses for their meat in this game. I guess it's not that kind of game, but come on. Sonic Frontiers, not great. And there are actually some glitches that I got here, but again, this is a game that I don't quite care enough about to try 500 different drivers. The shadows here weren't rendering correctly, but the game ran very well. It was a lot of fun to play. It's very fast and high speed. If you're a fan of Sonic and you want to play this game better than on the Switch, I assume the Portal 2 could do it if you're willing to mess around with the drivers. I did get a crash right at this moment. But just to wrap up here, buy the Portal if you want it. If you want to play Switch games in an ergonomic... If you want to play Switch games on an ergonomic device, or if you just want to play some old school games that are upscaled to modern graphics, it's really a no-brainer here. I do have large hands, and this is the first device that I would consider playing twin-stick shooters. As far as this video, that's all I've got for you guys today. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me what I'm doing right. I'm here for you all. Till next time, adios.